Winning trade day, baby. Let's go. This is a trade recap of my trade today here on GBP Now we're just gonna go through. This is it's like a video log for me, so I can see what I did right and suck myself off a bit, basically. Just kidding. That's not. Anyway, the trade. We won 2.25 risk reward, 37 pips total, or 37.5. Bring it up on the old. This is first. Reason we're only doing this now. I might put a screenshot up. I'll put a screenshot up there. Reason we're doing this now is because I actually bought an alpha funded of 50k. So I'm documenting all of these so that if I pass it, fucking brilliant. If I don't, it's not really the end of the world. It might be the end of the world, but I got it for 30% off. So this was a bit of a risky trade. This sort of went against, it was with my bias, which is why I entered. If it wasn't with my bias, I wouldn't have entered this at all, because there was a big, let's get rid of these trading sessions really quick. There was these big imbalance to fill. You know, with fair value gap, size doesn't matter. However, I was a little bit scared of this one because we'd already tapped into it and rejected off it. If we zoom in here a little bit more. So we'll just go through my thought process for this trade. Now, obviously, if we head onto the 1 hour. Yeah. So basically, buyers coming into this bearish. That was my daily bias. I was only looking for sells. Where are we? We're not even on the right fucking thing. Are we here? Tuesday. No, that was Tuesday. Where the fuck are we? Monday. Tuesday. Okay, we're here. We were here. Sorry. This was our bias. Our bias was very bearish, targeting previous weekly lows, which ended up getting swept, but not. Anyway, so we're here. Bias, bearish, very bearish. These weekly lows from last week were just big fucking draws in liquidity, which, you know, were our targets. So we jump on the charts this morning on the old 15 minaroo, and we see price during the Asian session create, obviously, an Asian high, and then this big fucking candle, which did get rejected. Saw it go back up into this imbalance, and then back up again. And I believe, we look at the same thing. I believe, yeah. Where are we? Is this the same time? 7 o'clock. Yeah. No, it didn't. Sorry, I thought USD JPY made an SMT. It may have done on the 5 minute. I remember an SMT coming into my... Sorry, it's been a day. So trade thoughts going into this. Well, we had this big fucking candle, been rejected twice. Bias was bearish, so we look for a cheeky little draw in liquidity, which happened right here. If we drop to the 5 minute, we swept this previous high, closed above it with an instant retracement down. A lot of momentum here. So after sweeping this high, I was looking on the old 1 minute. Where the fuck are we? Here we are. I was looking on the 1 minute. Two things I look for in the 1 minute. Break of structure and an inverse fair value gap. And we got both of these, so this fit my model perfectly. Zoom in a little bit more here. So you could see we swept liquidity, instant drop back down, respecting a bullish fair value gap. Coming up again, I believe this was an SMT. The bearish SMT between GJ and UJ, which just another confirmation. And then we had a break of structure, which happened here. We closed below this 1 minute low, and then we got a 1 minute fair value gap from that, and then we retraced into this fair value gap, closed, and then we saw a big black motherfucking candle down, and that's what I entered off. I entered because Our bias was bearish. We just hit an inverse fair value gap to the downside. We'd swept liquidity, and it was a little bit into London session. High volume. We were going towards, you know, towards the big daddy take profit. Now, this imbalance have reversed and been this imbalance could have been respected and gone the other way completely, right? But because I matched it with other things, I had confidence taking this trade before we'd invalidated this imbalance to just get an earlier entry. So we, as you can see, disrespected 1 minute fair value gap here. Big candle to the downside. I enter. Zero drawdown on this trade. Just zero drawdown. That's just simple as it gets, really. And then, yeah, it's pretty much plain sailing. I mean, we didn't come back up for a retracement because something I've been wanting to do more is, one, get better entries, and two, not wait for like a big imbalance to be rejected. If you can see, why are we not? What is trading view doing? As you can see on the 5 minute, the trade we took today it just tanked. It didn't come back up, and like there was no retracement until it had hit take profit. Really, it was over in what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was over in 30 minutes. We were in and out of this trade in half an hour, making a cheeky 1.5%, a bit more than 1.5% on our new alpha futures EVA, not futures, alpha capital evaluation. Yeah, all around good trade. We got an early entry because the thing is, I was sat in college in the canteen going, oh, it's got to retest these imbalances, right? Surely these are just, they're too big. Size doesn't matter, however. Yeah, imbalance here, imbalance here, imbalance here. It ended up retesting after taking profit here because I was going to target these lows. But I don't know why I didn't. I don't know why I didn't target these lows. I just put it as like a quick, 37 pip profit. And we just shot straight down. It ended up retesting this lowest one, and then, rejecting off of that just further, bearish. Like confirmation. We ended up bottoming out here because I was originally aiming for weekly low. Previous week low was a big draw in liquidity, which we, looking at now, we didn't end up hitting, and we reversed off of it, but that's fine. I didn't enter because I was like, we haven't actually, we haven't actually swept liquidity if price hasn't even gone below the weekly low. Do you know what I mean? We're just hovering above, and it created somewhat of an order block and shot back up. I didn't take another trade. I was going in for a buy, because originally today I thought, oh, perfect, it will sweep this and then go bullish. But I was like, bias is bearish. I was looking at this. I was like, I maybe could have caught this on the way up. I didn't want to, because where it's like an actual eval now, I'm sticking to my structure 100%. Discipline. I'm not risking more than I should be, because I've got a 50k account, which means I could have lost like $500. Risking 1%, and 2.25 we made 800. So what's that? Like, I was only risking like 370, which isn't bad at all. I could have used a higher lot size, but then I thought if I go for a bigger take profit, and like a less risk to reward, like my consistency would be a lot lower. So yeah, that's my sort of model. I hate the fact that TJR, because I came up with this sort of structure myself. Liquidity sweep, wait for a, what am I talking about? Liquidity sweep, wait for a 1 minute breaker structure, and then a 1 minute inverse fair value gap. With confirmation, because I was entering too early, and then I would enter the trade and it would just shoot straight back up. Because sometimes fair value gaps, I don't know why they take more, well, it doesn't matter how much time, but they take sometimes more than one candle. Yeah, all round good day, up 1.6%. Loving life. Kind of loving life. This is going to be like a little journal for all future trades. Yeah, that was sort of my process going through it. I mean, I was looking for a reversal, which I would have caught here, but I unfortunately wasn't on when New York started. Even though we came back up before New York. I've got a rule that I'm not allowed to trade across. I'm not allowed to swing trade, basically. I'm not allowed to trade within more than one session. But yeah, I was thinking of taking another trade today. To be honest with you, I don't need to. You know what I mean? I was at college and I placed this one. Shot nearly straight down to take profit within half an hour. It made 800. So it's good. We're a step closer to passing this Alpha Futures eval, which, you know, is the goal. So, yeah, there's going to be more of this content. I'm going to be doing like a trade recap for every single trade that I take, win or loss. So we're going to see if there's a setup tomorrow. By the looks of it, I mean, I don't know there really. I'm going to look at tomorrow. If we continue going higher, I'll look for like bullish like buys, but we just massive fucking wick on that boy, and then it continued to go up. So confusing price action, not stuff that I personally like to deal with. So I'm not going to force it and overtrade, risk losing my profits. I'm only going to take a trade if I need to. Because if you don't need to, obviously. We're still in, well, we've broke structure on the 1 hour. We still haven't swept weekly low, though. I don't understand this. I've got the weekly low mapped out, and we didn't even, you know. Who knows? We'll see. We will have a little look, won't we? Be brilliant, actually, if we get a winning trade. That would be gorgeous. However, yeah. Look at this price action. I mean, GJ is just fucking gorgeous, isn't it? GJ is gorgeous. We might sweep this high and come back down. Just consolidate in this range for a little bit. I don't care. You know what I mean? This range is what? 1887... 1874. 130 pips. I could just take bounces off this all day. I remember a couple months back, GJ bounced in between just like two prices for ages. It just kept sweeping liquidity, dropping down, sweeping lows, going up, sweeping highs, going back, sweeping lows. It was, honestly, it's enough to make a grown man cry. It really is. Then we broke out of it because Trump got, you know, Trump got put in office, and then the markets have just been very volatile since. But yeah, I mean, do I know what I'm talking about? I've been learning for a while. I understand. Why am I defending myself? No one's even left a hate comment yet. But yeah, if you have watched all of this, thank you very much. Yeah, there'll be another one tomorrow. I'm trying to think of more things to say, but it's not. I'm happy we got a winning trade. Yeah, cheeky little lick sweep. 1 minute broker structure, 1 minute inverse fair value gap. It's just simple. Realistically, it's simple and it works and it's effective. I've gone back and back tested it. I think one thing I would say is maybe I don't need a tighter stop loss, a bigger take profit, I'd say. But when my risk to reward gets too high, I'm like, I don't want to be greedy. Do you know what I mean? So I just aimed for 1877. Although I should have targeted weekly lows, because that was the drawing liquidity for like the whole week. Do you know what I mean? If it hits that, which it did, and it skyrocketed like 130 pips. So it is what it is. I wasn't gonna risk it and overtrade. But that is some gorgeous price action there. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I wish you many funded accounts passed. And I'll see you tomorrow if we take a trade. If not, oh well. Do you know what I mean? See you later.